Kabul, a city full of mysteries. For every seeker, curiosity and patience are essential to uncover the hidden layers behind mud brick walls and along dusty alleyways. In this documentary we will explore the palace of the King of Bukhara, the last Emir of Bukhara, who lived in exile in Afghanistan in 1921. His country, once a northern neighbor of Afghanistan, no longer exists. It was divided between Tajikistan and Uzbekistan during the formation of the Soviet Union. On the outskirts of the city, panoramic views show fortresses with outer defensive walls and towers nestled among farmlands and orchards. The fortress is surrounded by tree-lined paths filled with walnut and mulberry trees. Locals refer to this area as the Garden of the King of Bukhara, or Garden of the Emir of Bukhara, or Sar-Kari Garden. The Palace of the King of Bukhara, or the Emir of Bukhara, located in Kali Fatu, is one of the lesser-known yet important historical sites in western Kabul. This historical complex was built during the reign of Emir Abul Rahman Khan, and then King Amanullah Khan, and is known for its blend of semi-modern Islamic architecture with traditional influences. The vast estate once spanned around 24 jeribs, about 12 hectares, and included a palace, mosque, and royal quarters. Unfortunately, due to the ravages of time and internal conflicts, only the palace and mosque have survived.
This
palace was built during the period of Emir Abdul Rahman Khan. It includes a mosque and a harem and stretches over almost 30 acres of land.
The design and facades of this structure reflect a fusion of traditional Islamic architecture and the semi-modern style of the Amanullah era, a fusion that marked Kabul during his reign. Compared to earlier buildings, the style is simpler yet more authentic. The use of mud bricks and local materials, arched structures, fireplaces, and interior plasterwork are all characteristic elements of the architecture of that period.
Local and European architecture were used in the construction of the palace of the King of Bukhara. When Amanullah Khan made his 6-month trip to Europe, he was inspired by European styles and brought back that architectural influence to be used here. Although such buildings did not exist before, traditional dome-shaped structures were common, using materials like unfired, sun-dried, brick, mountain stone, or wood, all of which were also used in this building. Inside, there are traditional fireplaces whose history dates back to the Bronze Age. These fireplaces appear to be distinct, having been designed and built in a more refined way, with features such as air vents, lamp holders, and ventilation systems. The doors are also intricately carved with floral and geometric patterns, which were commonly used in earlier periods and are preserved in this palace. This palace is constructed using iron cladding. The rooms are quadrilateral rectangles, built with baked bricks and wood. The wood was likely sourced from Nuristan or Kunar. The wooden surfaces are carved with geometric and plant-shaped designs, which are visibly displayed. There is a rectangular mosque in the addendum, annex, section of the palace, which is supported by pillars and showcases unique plastering and rendering, highlighting a fine example of architectural artistry.
This complex reflects the cultural and political interactions between Afghanistan and Bukhara during its historical period and is considered an architectural heritage from a transitional era. Muhammad Alam Khan, the Emir of Bukhara, lived in exile in this garden and palace for over 20 years. The sorrowful landscape and ruined buildings here stand as silent witnesses to lesser-known scenes of Afghanistan's modern history.
Islamic architecture has been used in this building alongside European design elements. The appearance of triangular shapes reminds us of European architecture, particularly styles from Greek and Roman traditions. A similar triangle can be seen in the Parthenon temple, where it is known in Greek as the Centauri. Thus, a combination of local and European architectural art has been applied here.
The family of Emir Alam Khan ruled for a century before the Emirate of Bukhara was annexed by the Russian Empire in 1867. At first, Emir Alam Khan viewed the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917 as an opportunity to pursue his goal of establishing an Islamic caliphate throughout the region. However, he soon realized that the revolutionaries' social and economic reforms were in stark contrast to his conservative views. He began to resist, but his forces were no match for the Soviet Red Army, which occupied Bukhara in 1920, forcing the emir to flee. After an unsuccessful attempt to rally opposition in the eastern part of his country, he accepted an invitation from King Amanullah Khan of Afghanistan to visit Kabul. In 1921, he crossed the Tajikistan border into Afghanistan.
Muhammad Alam
Khan, the seventh and last Emir of Bukhara, was forced to leave the country due to pressure from the Russian Bolsheviks. He moved to Afghanistan by invitation of Amanullah Khan. Initially, he settled in Murad Khani, near the royal palace, Arg, with the intention of continuing his struggle to reclaim his kingdom in Bukhara. He continued his resistance against Soviet forces, and one of the former war ministers of the Ottoman Empire appointed him as a senior commander to lead the resistance movement alongside other protesters against the Soviets.
Alam Khan never imagined that his visit to Kabul would turn into permanent exile. Initially, he and his companions settled near the royal palace in the Murad Khani area, west of the Kabul River. During what became a lasting exile, the emir sought foreign support. Emphasizing that the Soviet Union was a mutual enemy, he repeatedly requested assistance from British India. This eventually led to his relocation to Kali Fatu, a more secluded area, away from public attention.
A person named King Anwar, who had previously served as the war minister of the Ottoman Empire, appointed Muhammad Alam Khan as a senior commander. He later went to Russia, where he was killed. Amir Muhammad Alam Khan hoped to regain his throne in Bukhara, but he was unsuccessful. Amanullah Khan settled him in a 30-acre area called Kali Fatu, where he lived for 23 years until his death. He was buried in Shahada-e Salihin.
King Amanullah Khan envisioned forming a confederation of Central Asian countries centered around Afghanistan. Despite having signed a friendship treaty with the Soviets, Afghanistan was secretly supplying weapons to the people of Bukhara and anti-Soviet insurgents in the former Russian province of Turkestan. In 1921, 1300 Hijri, the Red Army carried out a massive suppression of the Bukhara revolutionaries. After 23 years of exile in Kabul, the king of Bukhara passed away in 1322 Hijri, 1943 CE, at the age of 63 and was buried in Shahada-e Salihin cemetery. Despite his final wish to be returned to his homeland, his body remained in Kabul. The Bukhara Palace, a symbol of pride, resistance, and solidarity between the people of Afghanistan and Bukhara, experienced heavy damage from around 1991, 1370 Hijri, to 2016, 1395 Hijri. In the early 2010s, the Kabul municipality began restoring the palace. Restoration of the mosque also started in 1395 Hijri and was completed in about 6 months, overseen by the National Development Company with support from the Ministry of Information and Culture.
The palace or garden of the Emir of Bukhara is one of the significant monuments of the Islamic era and must be preserved. It covers a vast area that once featured fertile land and carefully designed trees. My suggestion to the Department of Monument Preservation and the Ministry of Information and Culture is that we must protect this monument and restore it in accordance with its historical style. On one hand, this effort protects a historic site, and on the other hand, it can generate income by attracting visitors and tourists, making it a valuable sightseeing location. Yes, preserving historical monuments to attract tourism is very important. The Ministry of Information and Culture leads this effort, and Kabul Municipality, as the city's managing authority, is also paying due attention. There is no doubt that tourism can bring economic benefits and broad development. As part of its collaboration, Kabul municipality is cooperating in several areas, including the Kali Futu Garden, where restoration work such as wall repairs is underway.
Additionally, the Kabul municipality is currently working on restoring about 500 meters of the outer walls using the traditional Paksa, rammed earth, method. Plans are also underway to pave the walkways, install shade structures, and develop public spaces.
As you know, Kabul municipality is responsible for providing various services to the city's residents. Historical and cultural topics are also among our priorities. We have strong cooperation with departments from the Ministry of Housing and the Ministry of Information and Culture that work on such projects. The Kale Futu area, also known as Sarkari Garden, is one of the historical locations. In continuation of its commitment, Kabul municipality is currently repairing around 500 meters of the garden wall using clay-style materials, in accordance with its original architectural style. The garden spans nearly 28 acres and is located in District 7 of Kabul city.
The Bukhara Palace in Kali Futu is not just an architectural masterpiece, it is a shared history between us and Bukhara. By preserving and restoring this site, we take a meaningful step toward safeguarding Kabul's historical identity.